Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and other Democrats are calling on the Justice Department to investigate possible collusion or price fixing at oil and gas companies. Balance of Power co-host Kailey Leinz joins me from DC with the details. What more can you tell us about how this letter is going to be received, Kailey?
Well, how it will be received, Vonnie, we'll have yet to see. But this is an effort that a number of Democrats are backing. As you said, it's not just Chuck Schumer, but 22 others, including the likes of Senators Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Dick Durbin. All of this following FTC alleging that Scott Sheffield, the former CEO of Pioneer, colluded together with OPEC officials in order essentially to fix prices. This came out in the FTC's approval of Exxon's $60 billion purchase of Pioneer. But as part of what the FTC is alleging here, Scott Sheffield is not allowed to be on Exxon's board as a result. What the senators, though, want the Department of Justice to do essentially is to launch a criminal probe into this and look more widely at the entire oil and gas industry to see if there was other collusion when it comes to prices, and then to hold any liable actors accountable for that. And this would be something that would be punished as a crime would be. If it's an individual, there's a fine of $1 million, potentially up to 10 years in prison. And for a company, it could be a fine of about $100 million. So they want the Department of Justice to do this. We'll see how the DOJ actually receives it, to your question, Vonnie. But it's worth noting that is not the only way in which Congress is kind of pushing this question around price fixing. Congress just last week, a number of congressional Democrats launched a congressional inquiry into questions over collusion in the oil and gas industry. And broadly, this is all part of a narrative that Democrats have been pushing when it comes to casting blame for inflation on corporations. The idea that because they are prioritizing corporate profits and essentially gouging prices is what Democrats have been saying, that is one of the driving forces of the inflation Americans are facing. So this kind of fits more widely into that theme, but specifically targeting oil and gas prices here, Vonnie.
And there are, of course, two Senate committees as well investigating whether Donald Trump made quid pro quo promises on rolling back regulations to major oil executives. Will there be any suggestion that the two are related?
Well, it does kind of fit into the same theme, at least in terms of the industry and its influence, Vonnie. But yes, there had been reporting just a few weeks ago that Donald Trump met with a number of oil executives down in Florida, essentially saying, if you give me $1 billion to fund my campaign, I will commit to you to rolling back all of the regulatory agenda items related to oil and gas extraction that have been put under the Biden administration, that I'll roll that back and make it easier for you. So there's been a lot of action from the Democrats in Congress who want to look into what exactly that promise was, the way that it was made. Of course, that would require Donald Trump actually being elected into office for him to see that through. But it's worth pointing out, a lot of these strategists that I talked to have noted it's highly likely that Donald Trump will be rolling back some of the Biden regulatory agenda, regardless of whether or not oil executives decide to help fund his campaign. But certainly something that has caught the attention of many here in Washington.